Hope she is okay. 90-Day Fiancé's Sophie shares disturbing photos after alleged assault incident. 90-Day Fiancé star Sophie Sierra is sharing details of an alleged assault on her by a psychopath. Sophie is a British reality TV star first introduced in 90-Day Fiancé Season 10 when she moved to the US to marry Rob Warren. Sophie had trust issues with Rob and found him to be ambitionless. She still gave him a chance when they tried couples therapy, but Sophie had proof that Rob was unfaithful. Sophie continued to live in America and was recently rumored to be dating Chantel Everett's ex-husband, Pedro Jimeno. Sophie had been looking forward to her Los Angeles move and celebrating the success of her new business when she had to face a traumatic experience. Ammani reposted Sophie's Instagram stories where she clicked pictures of herself with bloody lips. She had shared several stories from her night out at a restaurant in Austin before she wrote that she was assaulted last night by a psychopath. Sophie added that she has multiple stitches on her face and is currently recovering from the incident, both physically and mentally. Sophie mentioned she won't do any of her scheduled streams. Since police were involved, she refused to share more information of the incident. "All I will say is evil people will always get their karma," she continued, what Sophie mentioning evil people and karma in her post means. Sophie and Rob split over 2 years ago when she walked out of their Austin home. They kept trying to get back together for over a year, but Sophie still seemed hesitant. She decided she would continue living in the US. However, the couple is yet to be divorced officially. Sophie has kept denying rumors that she has a sugar daddy. She is independent and has several sources of income, from OnlyFans to her fitness brand. However, Sophie lives alone in Texas and may have had safety concerns. Sophie's older IG stories showed that she was at Nido at the Loren at Lady Bird Lake before the alleged assault. She did not talk about who was accompanying her or when the unknown person allegedly hurt her. Sophie's reluctance to talk about the person and reveal their identity could suggest that it was someone she knew. Moreover, her using words like karma to describe the incident could possibly mean it was a person she trusted. Our take on Sophie's claims that she was hurt by a psychopath. Sophie hints her injury was an intentional attack. 0-Day Fiancé star Sophie has filed a police report and will only speak publicly about the incident once she is legally permitted to do so. However, the situation has left her with a facial injury that may impact her ability to earn a living. As a model, Sophie relies heavily on being in front of the camera, and working will be difficult while she recovers. She may be implying that the person allegedly targeted her face intentionally, fully aware that it could harm not only her appearance but also her confidence and career. 90-Day Fiancé's Sophie Sierra reveals chilling new details of alleged assault. 90-Day Fiancé star Sophie Sierra came forward with disturbing new details about an alleged assault. She is a content creator from the UK who first starred in 90-Day Fiancé Season 10 with Rob Warren. Sophie's marriage to Rob was short-lived, as she walked out within a year. Rob had betrayed Sophie's trust by having an emotional affair, and she later claimed that he had anger issues. Rob and Sophie appeared in The Last Resort Season 2, but after knowing that their relationship was unsalvageable, Rob began dating Jennifer Tarazona, and Sophie was reportedly with Pedro Jimeno. After posting pictures of her bloody, torn lips, Sophie shared new details about what happened. 90-Day Fiancé Alexa shared several photos of Sophie from the day of the incident, including photos showing the stitches the British woman received on her lips. The blogger mentioned that Sophie had also filed a police report, while asking those fans who laughed at her assault and said she was faking it to unfollow. The blogger shared an exclusive picture of Sophie's hospital visit record of the alleged assault, which Sophie seems to have forwarded to them as proof of what happened to her. What new details in Sophie Sierra's alleged assault mean? Sophie faced online backlash after sharing assault photos. Sophie has chosen not to reveal the identity of her alleged attacker or where the incident occurred. She stated that the matter is now in the hands of the police and declined to share further details. However, she did confirm that the assault left her face bloodied and will impact her ability to earn a living. Sophie relies on live streaming as her primary source of income, and with stitches on her lips, going live is currently not an option. Speaking is likely painful as well, adding to the challenges she's facing during her recovery. Sophie appears to have stepped away from social media to recover from the traumatic experience. When she initially shared photos over the weekend, some critics accused her of fabricating the incident for attention and mocked the disturbing images. Rather than receiving support and compassion for what she described as a serious act of violence, Sophie was met with ridicule and hurtful comments online. While she may have shared the photos to raise awareness about abuse, the harsh backlash could have led her to reconsider opening up about the incident publicly. Our take on fans showing support for Sophie after the incident. Sophie Sierra receives encouragement amid recovery. Since coming forward, Sophie has received an outpouring of support from fans expressing compassion and concern. While she's faced criticism in the past for her actions on 90 Day Fiancé, many now commend her for bravely sharing unedited photos of her injuries. Supporters emphasize that she doesn't need to prove her pain or justify her decision to speak out. Fans are encouraging her to stay strong during this difficult time and are sending heartfelt wishes for a full and speedy recovery. Despite the negativity, many stand by Sophie and hope she continues to prioritize her healing and well-being. When the 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 tell-all airs and what to expect. 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 premiered in February, introducing viewers to a diverse array of couples, and here's looking at what to expect from them at the tell-all. The season featured new faces like Stevie Nicole and Mahdi Al-Saadi, Mark Bessette and Mina Mack, and the franchise's first throuple, Matt and Ammani Jalassi with Eni Aguirre. Returning fan favorites. Shikina and Sarper Guven, Jessica Parsons, and Juan Daza, and Sean Finch and Aaliyah de Batista faced new challenges. With the tell-all on the horizon, explosive truths, emotional confrontations, and major relationship shifts promise to shake up the season's most dramatic stories. Yet throughout 90 Day Fiancé Season 11, couples faced major cultural and personal challenges. Stevie and Mahdi struggled with homesickness and cultural differences. Mark and Mina dealt with suspicion from Mark's daughter, Jordan. The throuple, Matt, Ammani, and Eni, showcased the complexities of polyamory and visa issues. Meanwhile, Shikina and Sarper, Jessica, and Juan wrestled with family pressures and insecurities. This season expanded the show's horizons by exploring unique relationship dynamics and the real-life hurdles couples face when love crosses borders. 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 has a two-part tell-all. What makes the 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 tell-all stand out? A 90 Day Fiancé tell-all special typically airs in 2 to 4 parts, depending on the season and the amount of drama to unpack. Most standard seasons feature at least 2 parts, where cast members reunite with host Sean Robinson to reflect on key moments, confront past issues, and share updates since filming wrapped. In more dramatic or highly anticipated seasons, the tell-all can be extended to 3 or even 4 episodes, often including unseen footage and off-camera revelations. These specials are a fan favorite for their candid confessions, emotional moments, and explosive confrontations. For instance, 90 Day, The Last Resort Season 2 had a 5-part tell-all. It appeared like things were unnecessarily stretched when the cast could have been able to answer burning questions about their lives easily in a couple of parts. It looks like the network was listening to fans complaining about the multi-part reunion specials. Despite it being a season where several cast members have skeletons in their closets, IMDb mentions that 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 has just 2 parts to its tell-all. The 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 Part 1 tell-all airs on. When does the 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 Part 1 tell-all air? The 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 finale airs on June 15th. It features 3 weddings with Stevie and Mahdi, Mark and Mina, and Sarper and Shikina getting married. Interestingly, Sarper and Shikina are also the 90th couple to be married in the entire franchise. Their ceremony is also unique since Sarper and Shikina had a bedding instead of a regular wedding with no guests allowed in the intimate setting. Meanwhile, the 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 tell-all part, via Extra airs next week. I.E. and Part 2 will air on. Big Ed makes a surprise appearance. Big Ed joined by Veronica and Danielle. IMDb also confirms that the cast of 90 Day Fiancé Season 11 will be joined by some interesting cast members from older seasons. These 90 Day Fiancé veterans will be making surprise appearances. The names include 90 Day Fiancé villain Big Ed Brown and fan favorite Veronica Rodriguez. The blurb for episode 19 does not tell what Big Ed and Veronica will be doing on set and why they, in particular, have been invited. Several 90 Day Fiancé viewers detest Big Ed for the way he's behaved with his partners, Rose Vega and Liz Woods, on screen. However, according to Shabuti, Big Ed is making an appearance on the tell-all for a very specific reason. It appears the show has roped in Big Ed because he shares a part of his story that matches that of Greg. Big Ed used to be independent, unlike Greg, but he lived with his mom like Greg did. Big Ed might talk about how living with his mother affected his dating life and what his partners thought of him and his living situation. Greg's relationship with Joan was put to the test because of Lucille. Meanwhile, Veronica is seemingly joining the reunion for a very personal reason. Veronica unsuccessfully dated Kim Menzies' son Jamal on The Single Life, but was single at the end of season 4. However, Veronica is now dating a new man, and she prefers keeping the details about him private. It appears Veronica's new boyfriend is also Persian, like Mahdi. She will be able to talk to Stevie about her relationship better while understanding why it was so difficult for Stevie to understand her husband's culture. Ammani will reveal her new look. Ammani looks unrecognizable after surgery. Meanwhile, boss babe Ammani is all set to show Annie what she's missing during the tell-all. Ammani will be showing off her latest makeover while discussing what went wrong between her and her Mexican girlfriend. Since filming the show, Ammani has undergone a mommy makeover and made several changes to her body. She's opened up about her experience with plastic surgery in several Instagram videos, especially her rhinoplasty, which Ammani isn't satisfied with. She's been trying to convince her followers to them themselves since she learned that true happiness comes from within and not from cosmetic procedures. Shikina reveals relationship troubles with Sarper. Are Shikina and Sarper splitting up after season 11? As of June, Shikina Garner and Sarper Guven have not officially split, but their relationship remains under intense scrutiny. Recent episodes of 90 Day Fiancé have highlighted significant tensions between the couple. Sarper expressed doubts about their readiness for marriage, citing unresolved issues and feeling unrecognized by Shikina. Shikina countered that Sarper had become distant and dismissive, blaming his recent behavior for her change in demeanor. The couple clashed over feelings of sacrifice, lack of communication, and unmet emotional needs, with Shikina growing increasingly doubtful about marriage. Shikina's recent Instagram stories hint that her 90-day fiancé relationship with Sarper may be over. She shared a list of painful experiences, including feeling ignored when hurt or emotional, and being told, "If you get too skinny or fat, I will leave you." Responding to fan questions, Shikina said, "You probably won't see us on any more seasons," suggesting a split. When asked if they were okay, she admitted, "Nothing about this is easy." She also revealed that Sarper hadn't calmed down since moving to the US, and that living together had only made things more difficult for them. After 90 Day Fiancé's Sophie Sierra received stitches due to alleged assault, she called out fans who made fake blood claims. 90 Day Fiancé star Sophie Sierra is on the mend after an alleged assault left her with wounds on her face requiring stitches. The former 90 Day The Last Resort Season 2 cast member took to Instagram after the initial announcement and had some words for people who alleged she faked the incident for attention, as fans with TLC or Max subscriptions have been watching her ex-husband Rob Warren meet new singles. Sophie posted a concerning update on since-expired Instagram stories, alleging she was assaulted. She claimed she could not share the specifics of what occurred due to the police report via Shabuti.com, and attached blurred pictures of her bloodied face, which led to commenters accusing her of faking the incident for attention. In a new response to the naysayers, Sophie unblurred the photos and took aim at those accusing her of making things up. There are still no specifics on the incident, but it's quite an alarming update from Sophie Sierra. Last we reported on her, she was vacationing with another star from 90 Day Fiancé and was on to new adventures following the end of her marriage to Rob. Unfortunately, she mentioned in the initial report about the alleged assault that she's stepping away from live streaming to fans and waiting until she recovers to return. As mentioned, the details of the alleged assault are unknown, and no name was given as to who was responsible for what occurred. It isn't the first time that the 90 Day Fiancé star has shared concerning footage of upsetting situations. Before her marriage with Rob officially ended, she shared disturbing footage of him shouting at her during a very intense argument. Unfortunately, 90 Day Fiancé stars will always be scrutinized for information, considering the nature of the program and past allegations indicating the storylines are scripted at points. While there certainly have been instances where scenes look to be shot several times or other things of that sort, there's a big difference between making allegations about something that happened on the show and something that happened in one of these cast members' personal lives. It's unknown at this point if Sophie Sierra will stick with 90 Day Fiancé in the future. If I had to guess, I think it's possible we'll see her pop up on 90 Day, The Single Life, especially if cameras were rolling when she was on vacation with fellow 90 Day star Pedro Jimeno. That said, if this incident led her to step away from the spotlight, I wouldn't blame her for taking a break. 90 Day Fiancé airs on TLC on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and 90 Day Hunt for Love is on Mondays at the same time. Both are must-watch television at the moment. And I can't envision any spin-off possibly being better than the entertainment we're getting right now. Mick Jost is a content producer for Cinema Blend with his hand in an eclectic mix of television goodness. Star Trek is his main jam, but he also regularly reports on happenings in the world of Star Trek, WWE, Doctor Who, 90 Day Fiancé, Quantum Leap, and Big Brother. He graduated from the University of Southern Indiana with a degree in journalism and a minor in radio and television. He's great at hosting panels and appearing on podcasts if given the chance as well.